Home Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. As usual, joining me tonight, Derek Relaford, and Kelsey's back with us again tonight. How's everything going, you guys, tonight?
Solid.
Cool.
Yeah, good.
I'm awake and upright, so that's good.
Yeah, me too. Been a day. I've been just running.
That's what your days off are, man. You don't ever sit around on your days off. You're always like doing stuff all day long.
I was telling Kelsey before the show, what is a day off? You know,
Right?
I hear you. It's been the same with me too.
I haven't figured out what a day off is. If anybody knows what a day off is, let me know.
I love days off, but generally on my days off, like I get bored, like pretty quickly throughout the day. I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Like walk to the kitchen again, like walk to the front yard again. I get so bored on my days off, but at the same time, I love days off, like because work's stupid. But
yeah,
Gotta make that money.
Gotta make that money.
Yeah, because Bill won't pay himself.
Exactly.
No.
What's up, Roxanne Fisher Jackson? What's going on?
Roxanne, how you doing?
Coming on a little later tonight. We don't have we don't have as many people as usually are watching this. I think it's because we came on a little late. It's like 9:30 in Kansas.
Sorry, guys.
You're out there, folks. We're still here.
Yeah, share the show. Obviously, let's get some people in here.
I did put a post up saying we'll be here shortly, so hopefully it was keeping some people's attention.
The numbers are climbing a little bit. They're climbing a little bit. Yeah, but we got a lot of show for everybody tonight for sure.
Everybody let us know where you're watching from so we can keep tabs on that.
Yeah, we always like to see that.
Say hi, say howdy.
I like to learn about Kansas geography through this show. I always look up these towns afterwards. I'm like, that's where it is.
Yeah, definitely.
You'd think I would know like most of the towns in the state I grew up in, you know?
Yeah.
It's just not true.
This is an interesting one right here. Colorado City, Texas.
That is all over the place. Colorado.
That's cool.
City,
Texas. Thanks for joining us, Julianne. And there's Angie, Leanne,
Leavenworth,
and Roxanne, Southeast Oklahoma.
Southeast Oklahoma. Love that.
That's the Bayfield.
I like Oklahoma, man.
Wichita. That was my daughter sneezing. Sorry.
That was cute.
Bless her.
Let's see. We got Fredonia, Noble, Oklahoma, Hayes, Fort Scott, Salina, Newton, Arcadia, Emporia.
Arcadia. That's one I haven't heard of.
Me neither. Where is that at?
I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is.
There's an Arcadia here in the valley, isn't there? In Phoenix.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, is it? I think it's more of an area though, like the Arcadia area. It's not. It's like
yeah.
You know how they like have their little suburbs out there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I just know when we were looking for houses, they mentioned Arcadia.
Well, we're all over Kansas tonight.
Rose Hill. That's where my mother-in-law, rest her soul, is from. She has great things to say about Rose Hill. Great band, awesome.
Here's what I found interesting was a couple of days ago, Derek's wife, Stephanie, messaged me, and she sent me a couple of screenshots, and I got to find her again, on our downloads for last week's show. And what I found interesting about that was, and this was on Spreaker, that Wichita had the top downloads, and then Topeka was next in line. Then Washington, Virginia, and then New York were the top four, and rounding out the top five was Lawrence. And then the number 6 was Chicago. So we're pulling some downloads in some areas that surprised me. I wouldn't have thought Chicago
or New cities York, that we are nowhere near.
Yeah, Springdale, Arkansas, Surprise, New York. So we're getting around.
It is getting around. That is true.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And thanks to anybody listening to the podcast. That's awesome.
And then we got, we had Julianne Rendon. Thank you. My cousin's cousin is Alexander Perez. Continued prayers for him. Definitely. There he is. Always have his flyer ready to pop up there. Keep it fresh in everybody's mind.
Is there anything new on that case?
I have not seen or heard anything. Hopefully, Julianne, have you heard anything new on that?
Well, I haven't heard anything either. I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
the last couple of weeks ago that, they had those Snapchats that came through and,
Yeah, those were horrible.
and I heard that they were, investigating all that, and that's as far as I know. So hopefully something will come of it and someone will be held responsible for whatever happened to AJ, as they
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but his page has gotten a lot of shares,
that's
shares,
good.
more
That's
than any
good.
page that I've ever made. And
That's good.
so he has a lot of family and friends that, want to
That's
know what
good.
happened to him.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not gonna go away either. So if anybody out there is like, "Oh, that'll blow over," nope,
Mm-mm.
not until he comes home.
Yeah.
Nope.
People don't just go missing, and their family and friends don't just be like, "Well, we'll figure it out." Nope.
Yeah.
Hasn't been a second go by that this dude's mom hasn't
With
been like,
Alex,
"What the hell?"
I know that they said in his reports that, they believe that he might still be in the Garden City area or Ulysses, but from talking with his mom, she just, that's not like him. He, he might not contact for a couple days or whatever, but he would eventually call, and they haven't heard anything from him since December 1st. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully, by continuing to share his flyer, we can, get him found, get him home.
right.
And with your page sharing like wildfire, hopefully that helps too.
Yeah, he has a lot of friends and family that care about him and want to know.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I have been bad about posting, lately to any of the pages because with moving and all that, I've just been really super busy. But hopefully, I'll get back on track with that, and we can just keep sharing his flyer, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, not gonna go away.
And Rod Ness says, hello. Hello.
Well, you guys ready to find some people?
Sure.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started with Adam Tabor.
All right. Adam Tabor, missing from Junction City, Kansas since April 7th, 2021. He's 17 years old. He's 5'8", 150 pounds, has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. It's believed that he may be in Missouri. If you have any information regarding Adam's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Junction City, Kansas Police Department at 785-762-5912 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And Adam, if you hear about this or you see this, give somebody a call, let them know where you are so we can get you back where you need to be and get things taken care of. I mean, you're almost 18. You don't have much longer to wait, and you'll be an adult and won't have to worry about it.
But even when you turn 18, Adam, probably shouldn't make it a hobby just to go radio silence to the people you care about you.
Right.
Now granted, maybe some of your friends know where you are, but I mean, we just need a sign of life, Call somebody, say, hey, I'm okay. We get it. You're 17. You're close to being 18, like Ricky said.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not the way to handle business, Adam. You don't just go radio silence on people. You face it face to face. And, you're young, 17 years old. You got a lot of time ahead of you. Let's just go ahead and go back and just rewrite your story and just, do it the right way, man. This is not, taking off and ending up on a missing person show is not the right way to go about doing things.
Right. And Noreen says, thank you guys with the help solving my son Jeremy Cook's case. You're very welcome, Noreen. You're very welcome. And Hope, again, she made a comment similar to this last week. You found my son. You guys are making a difference. Keep doing this. So definitely, we will keep doing it. We're not going to stop anytime soon.
I love that. I love messages like that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I love seeing those.
Tell us about Allison Marlar.
Okay. Allison Marler. Got to locate her flyer here. Oh, there it is at the very top. Okay, she's missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 20th, 2021. She's 14 years old. She is 5'3" tall, weighs 140 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. Her nose is pierced as well. If you have any information regarding Allison's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And same for you, Allison. If you hear this or you see this, let somebody know where you are so they can come get you and get you back where you need to be. And I got to admit, when I got these pictures sent to me to make this flower, I was like, she's seriously 14? To me, she looks considerably older than 14. But I did see a comment on her flyer saying she's going to be 15, I believe in June, I think it was. So she's going to be 15 here pretty soon.
They could be filters also. You never know with a picture in 2021 if you're looking at the actual person or not.
This is true. This is true.
Makeup does a lot too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. I've seen some of those makeup tutorials where those girls will show you what they really look like and then they'll show you their makeup and you would be like, you could come have a conversation with me as yourself, put the makeup on, come back 10 minutes later and have another conversation, and I would never know it was the same person. It's like makeup is crazy what you can do with it.
Well, I'll tell you, earlier this afternoon, my daughter sent me a picture of a girl saying, isn't this girl pretty and this girl pretty? And then she showed me that it was actually a picture of herself that she filtered and changed the hair color and changed the shape of her face and stuff. And I honestly did not know it was her. And she showed me how she actually did it. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, she gave me a good education on filters.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Which, my thing, I think everybody should take at least once every few months, take a non-filtered photo of yourself and send it to a couple of friends just in case you go missing.
Yeah.
So we have some real, and honestly, this is kind of a joke, but I think it's kind of serious. You know how many people probably wouldn't run off if they knew that there were photos of them without filters that were going to be aired everywhere? They'd be like, I'm never taking off ever again. Like, are you serious?
Right. Good night, Noreen. Thanks for popping in for a little bit. Sorry we got on so late. And let's see, Lisa's got some comments here. From my experience, if a teen is in foster care and runs, this could be the case. I always tell my kiddos just, let me know you're okay. Yeah, and then not saying he's in custody, but could be. That's possible. And I worry about sex trafficking. Yeah, that is a legitimate concern right there. Definitely is. I can tell you that it's definitely a legitimate concern. So yeah.
Let's talk about Beverly Ward.
This is kind of an older case, and I
can tell by the flyer, but I'd like to still, All
right, let's see here. It's kind of an interesting one here. She's missing from Junction City, Kansas. Been missing since July 4th of 1978. She was 13 when she went missing. She would be 56 now. She was 4'8" tall, 54 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen at her single-story home in the 200 block of West 11th Street in Junction City on July 4th, 1978. A young friend was staying over on the night she disappeared, was sleeping in another bed in the same room. In the early morning hours, most of Beverly's family, as well as her friend, woke up and went to the front door to watch a disturbance across the street. They thought Beverly was with them, but once the commotion was over, they realized she was gone. The screen had been cut and removed from the bedroom window. It was lying about 10 feet from the house. None of Beverly's clothes were missing, and the $12 she was saving for an upcoming trip to camp was left behind. Authorities believe someone removed her from her bedroom between 3 and 5 a.m. Beverly was wearing a green nightgown when she disappeared. None of Beverly's family members are considered suspects in her case, but little information is available regarding her apparent abduction. If you have any information on Beverly's disappearance, please call the Junction City, Kansas Police Department at 785-762-5912. To give information anonymously, visit crimestoppers.com to send tips through the web, or text tip JC followed by the information to be given. Send text to crimes 27463 or call the KBI at 785-296-4017.
How big is Junction City?
It's not a very big town, really. Let me look here. I can tell you real fast.
They have Walmart.
They have Walmart? Okay.
Yeah, and I think they have a Cheesecake Factory now, but it's right next to Fort Riley, so they have a little bit more stuff because of the military base, I think.
According to good old Wikipedia, about 11 years ago, their population was 23,353.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Ricky, is there something is there like a show about, I swear I remember this story from somewhere.
Yeah, it's been covered in the media a few times. I can't remember if anybody, if like any podcasts have been done or if
it sounds familiar.
It does. Initially, when I did her flyer, the only picture I had was the black and white ones over there on the left side, and then I can't remember how long ago it was. I got the color picture and then the age progression.
Yeah, I thought I've watched something on this before, and I don't think it was a podcast because I just recently started getting into those lately. Yeah. But I swear I've seen something about this before, and you know how I love the cold cases, so.
Yeah. Lisa, she brings up a good point about Junction City military mostly and lots of people moving. Yeah, it's just pretty much next door to Manhattan, and Junction City does have a military base there and home of the Big Red One. So yeah,
I actually lived in Junction City for a while.
Yeah,
in Fort Riley.
But if anybody does have any information regarding Beverly's disappearance, even if it's just a little piece, call that in, and it might be what they need to help them figure out what happened to her and where she might be.
Yeah, that's sad, man.
It is. I mean, this back in 1978.
And you think about it, like we just went over it, Junction City is it's not the smallest town in the world, but it's definitely not the biggest town in the world. And it's been this long, and they've never found any kind of sign of foul play, like a body or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it leads you to believe that, maybe it was a kidnapping, and then they just took her, And the thing is how old was she? 13?
13 at the time, yeah.
Do you think that you can? I mean, I've heard of people kidnapping like anything like a kid that's like up to 5 years old, and then brainwashing them to like they forget that they think that they're just from the family, But I think 13 would be too old to convince somebody like, hey, you living with us isn't weird. Like I think that's too old. I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole thing is weird to me anyway, because didn't you say there's a disturbance across the street, and then she came up missing and her screen was cut.
Right.
So something's not adding up there.
Somebody made an interesting comment on our flyer after I posted it, after I did this update on it, and their comment was something along the lines of, it's sad to think that they may have been watching her abduction in progress.
Right.
And it is. I mean, it's,
Well, before you read the rest of what it said on there, that's what I was thinking, like they're watching a disturbance across the street and then she's gone. Like something that's just too coincidental to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. It sounds like they may have been watching her being abducted and didn't even realize it until after the fact.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
That's tragic.
It is.
It is very.
Yep.
And her folks are probably at least old. I mean, if they're still around.
56 now, so.
Yeah.
So you're thinking at least 18 years older than that.
Yeah.
I mean, they would, that's sad. Most child abductions are perpetrated by family members, right? Yeah. I mean, that's.
Typically, most are, yeah. They say stranger abductions are pretty rare, but I think it's kind of these days. It seems like it's getting to be more frequent with stranger abductions. But as a general rule of thumb, they always say it's a family member or somebody known to the family at least.
Yeah, that's what's scary, man. You watch all these shows and stuff, and you just like if you watch enough, like if you spend an afternoon watching like murder documentaries, it doesn't take long to be like, man, everybody there, you should lock your door and there's monsters out there. But then if you really pay attention to a lot of these shows, it's like most of the monsters you should have been hiding from were just in plain sight,
right?
just lurking, like just waiting to strike, and they were people you trusted and stuff. So that's what's scary about the whole thing, man. Like,
yeah.
Well, hopefully something happens with this. Hopefully something knows something. I mean, people don't just vanish.
No.
She went somewhere that night.
Yeah, and like I say, if anybody has any information, no matter how small that little piece of information might be, go ahead and call it in anyway.
Right.
I encourage that. Call it in anyway.
Wow. Tell us about Brandon Mcintosh.
Okay. Brandon Mcintosh is missing from Pittsburgh, Kansas since April 23rd, 2021. He's 16 years old. He's 5'7" tall, weighs 180 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Brandon's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Crawford County, Kansas Sheriff's Office. It's 620-724-8274, or the KBI is 785-296-4017. And see if we can't help get Brandon found and back to where he needs to be. And Brandon, give somebody a call, let them know where you are so they can come and get you, so you can get back, start getting things taken care of. It's need to get back home.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Kansas. That's where there's a college there, right?
Yeah, the Gorillas. Yeah.
Okay. It's another town I've heard of, never been to.
Never been there either.
I used to be friends with a girl that was going to school there about 10 years ago. Probably longer, honestly. But that's like the only connection I ever had to Pittsburgh, Kansas. Well, my dad lives in Pittsburgh. My real dad lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that's why every time somebody talked about Pittsburgh, Kansas, it stuck out a little bit. But I knew they had a college.
Yeah.
But it's still a pretty small town from what I remember. So this next one, I made 2 flyers, so I'll go ahead and post this one first, and then I'll probably switch back and forth between the other 2 because I have the tattoos on the other flyer. But tell us about Brienne.
Yeah, we've covered her in the past, but I made an update on the age now today, so I reposted it. So Brienne Miller is missing from St. Louis, Missouri since July 26, 2020. She was 21 when she went missing. She would be 22 now. She's 5'4" tall, weighs 135 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. She was last seen in South St. Louis on Delore Street. Her tongue and ears are pierced. She has a tribal heart tattoo on her right bicep. This says love. And a tattoo of the name Rob on the right side of her neck. And a tattoo of a heart on the left side of her chest. And a tattoo of 2 hearts on her upper left thigh. She was last known to be wearing a pink short sleeve top and white jeans. If you have any information regarding Brianne's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the St. Louis, Missouri Metropolitan Police Department at 314-231-1212 or the Crime Stoppers at 866-371-8477. And as you can see, we got shots of all of her tattoos. I had to go through a lot of digging to get the pictures of her tattoos, let me tell you. I had some help with that. But yeah, she's been missing for quite a while, and there was
that's a long time.
Yeah, and there was some fears that maybe she got caught up in trafficking, possibly, and that kind of thing. But don't know for sure.
That's no good. You just disappear. None of your friends know where you are.
And Beverly, you're very welcome. And this is going back to Beverly's. Isn't the cut screen a little too convenient, especially with another child in the room to cut? Enter and abduct would have made a lot of noise. She snuck out, but unfortunately ended up with the wrong crowd. I don't know. It could go either way. It's hard to say. Because you would think if there was another young lady or another kid in the room with her, and especially if Beverly would have put up some kind of struggle when somebody came in the room and got her, you'd have thought it would have woke up the other girl and she would have had the presence of mind to run out of the room and go get somebody. You would have thought. I don't know, though.
Right.
Oh, this is an interesting one here. I have a friend who moved from Kansas to San Antonio, Texas. I came up missing. 3 years later, they found his bones, was able to identify by his dental records. He was brought back to Kansas and buried. Never know who killed him or what happened. He was found on Disneyland property that was off limits. So sad. Never going to know what happened.
What was his name?
Yeah, what was his name? Because maybe I can work up a unsolved homicide flyer for him. Because I would need photos of him and any kind of links to any articles or information that I could get on him. David Berry. And how long ago was that?
Huh.
Yeah, Mindy, let me know how long ago that was, and I'll do some research on that. YouTube channel. Yeah, Nikki, I watched that YouTube channel, that chapter. I love him. I got a notification on the Kyler Use video, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I plan on doing that after the show before I go to bed, because I like that guy. He is fun to watch. I think he's Scottish or something like that, and he can't say three. He hit for him. It's tree instead of three. It's tree, and turd instead of a third. But I like him. I watch his channel. I watch for his notifications on him putting up cases. He's very good at it. He's very good at it.
Yeah, if it happened on private property,
About 7 years
where
ago.
there's like profit being made, yeah, good luck finding out any details.
7 years ago.
It's like when things happen on college campuses, you never hear about them.
Yeah.
Because they don't want any kind of bad publicity. It's really terrible thought process.
Yep.
Especially when in the world of date rape.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of women that reported date rape to campus police, and they were like, okay, and they never reported it to the police because they didn't want the bad publicity. I mean, so if somebody got killed at Disneyland, they don't want that in the paper. So, hey, somebody went to Disneyland and got killed. Like, that's not good publicity, you know? Like,
oh, yeah. That's going to bring the crowds in.
Yeah, so it's like that's really unfortunate that your friend died like at Disney, because unless you find like a Disney employee that knows something, like they probably won't print it. Nobody will probably print it.
I wonder if she meant Six Flags property instead of Disney, because I don't think Disney has any property in San Antonio.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah,
I looked up. I googled body found Disney David Berry, but I didn't pull anything up. So.
Okay.
We'll cover a couple more cases, Mindy, and then if anything else rings a bell, let us know, and we'll keep looking. But that's very interesting. But tell us about Faith.
Okay. As soon as I find her flyer, I will do that. I'm submitting on my list here. It's crazy.
We'll keep looking at that, Mindy.
Okay. Faith Ariana Park, missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 16th, 2021. She's 16 years old, 5'4" tall, weighs 120 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of a black heart on the right side of her neck and a tattoo of the number 18 on her left hand. If you have any information regarding Faith's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456. or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Faith, if you hear this or see this or somebody tells you about it, give somebody a call, let them know where you're at, and get back to where you need to be. It's time to get things taken care of.
I'm not seeing anything on the Six Flags thing.
And is the Berry spelled B-A-R-R-Y or B-E-R-R-Y?
Yeah, that might help.
Just want to verify.
Nisi says, takeaway, report assaults to actual police, not university cops. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would want to scream from the rooftops.
Yeah.
But, an 18-year-old girl that just got to college doesn't know that. She thinks she can go to the campus police. She thinks that they're going to call the police. They don't.
Yeah, thank you, Mindy. It's B-A-R-R-Y. Okay.
But you're right, Nisi. Any crimes that happen, report it to the actual police, please, for the love of God.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Tell us about Haley.
Okay. Haley, I'm going to guess on this one, Ormerod, I'm guessing is that one. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 25th, 2021. She's 16 years old, 5'1", 140 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She was last known to be in the 27th and Meridian area of Wichita. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Haley, if you see this or somebody tells you about it, it's time to get back home. So give somebody a call, let them know where you are so they can come and get you, especially in Wichita. I mean, I know Wichita has its good points. I'm not knocking that, but I mean, we all have heard the horror stories about Wichita and the trafficking issues and that kind of thing. And I mean, heck, I live up here in Salina, and we've even had, some trafficking issues in the past. So, I mean, we're not immune I don't think any town's immune from it, no matter how big or small.
No.
In fact, I did talk to a human trafficking survivor one time when I went to a coalition meeting for trafficking here in town, and she was saying that she was mainly trafficked in Manhattan, but they would take her to some of the smaller towns around Manhattan and traffic her there as well, because nobody thinks to look in the smaller towns for it, which is true. I agree. I could see that. And Mindy said, Google skeletal remains found on Six Flags property. She just found it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mindy.
Wow, man. We always learn so much on this show.
Yeah, Nisi made a good comment on here, too. I feel like the photo filters probably work in favor of sex traffickers when promoting girls on websites. Yeah, because you can disguise what they actually look like, or you can make them look older than what they are and all that. Yeah, I agree with that. I do. That's why when I get asked to make flyers and I get sent pictures and they have filters or effects on them, it's like, if I have to use them, I will, but I prefer not to. But if I have to, if it's the only thing I have to work with, I will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of it, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get the word out.
Right.
And here's another one. Kendra Nystrom, missing since May 2017. Wichita still haunts me. Yeah, that's a sad case too. I mean, they think she drowned out there somewhere outside of her parents' property. And I hope that's not the case. I hope they do find her. And I don't think that they ever found her dog either, come to think of it, because she'd had her dog with her. And I don't believe they've ever found the dog either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We'll have to get her flyer updated, and we'll have to include her on an upcoming show. And Mindy, you are very welcome. And Christopher says, good evening, Derek and Ricky. And don't forget Kelsey. She's up there too.
I'm here too. I know I'm quiet tonight, but
she's part of the team too.
Is this next one, is her name Isis?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she has about 5 names. So
yeah, Isis, and she apparently goes by Isabella or Bella Johnson, and she is missing from Topeka, Kansas since April 24th, 2021. She's 17 years old. She's 5'3" to 5'4" tall, weighs between 230 and 240 pounds. She has dark brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed that she may still be in the local Topeka area, or she may be in the Wichita, Kansas area. So if you have any information regarding Isis's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Isis, same to you as well. If let somebody know where you are so they can get you back to where you need to be. I know it's only been 3 days, but it's 3 days too long. Get back to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Christopher says, hi, Kelsey. How are you tonight?
hello.
Tell us about Jalen.
Okay. This is an interesting one. See, Jalen Howie's missing from Baxter Springs, Kansas since April 20th, 2021. He's 17 years old. He's 5'8" tall, weighs between 130 and 140 pounds. He has brown hair and green eyes. It's believed he may still be in the Baxter Springs area, or he may be in Joplin, Missouri. If you have any information regarding Jalen's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Baxter Springs, Kansas Police Department. It's 620-856-2146 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And I say it's interesting because I noticed this morning that he's been commenting on his flyers. So,
Oh wow.
and somebody had commented that might as well take it down because he's not missing and he's okay. And I commented back that he's still listed as missing, and until he's located and cleared, I have to keep the flyers up. So
Right.
So Jalen, I know you've seen your flyers, and it's just time to get back to where you need to be.
Well, and with that, Ricky, too, we can't know 100% that that's him. Someone
that's true
have
too.
access to his Facebook account.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Could be somebody posing as him. You're right. That's very true. Yeah, I've had people bring that up before too. It's like, well, they messaged and said they were okay. Well, do you honestly know 110% that was them?
Because we had another one like that a while ago that he was commenting or something like that. And the thing was, oh, well, he's commenting. He's obviously okay. Well, that's not 100% to me. As long as they're still listed missing.
Right.
And like I said, anybody can get on your Facebook. They could have found his phone. Someone could have hacked his account or just have access to it in general. That doesn't give me any kind of comfort,
Right.
We need to know 100% you're okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it freaks me out, man. My kid's 7. 10 years from now, I'm going to be, like this could be stuff I'm going to be dealing with, It's like, it's a rough age, man. 17's a rough age.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot going on upstairs,
Right. Definitely. So
tell us about John Lee Kraft. This looks like it's a very old case. Yeah, this is a very old case.
It's an older one, yeah.
I'm very interested.
John Lee Kraft III been missing from Hutchinson, Kansas since November 2nd, 1992. He was 20 when he went missing. He would now be 49. He's 6'1" to 6'2", weighs between 165 and 175, has blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen in Hutchinson. He was supposed to meet his mom for dinner that evening, but he never arrived and has never been heard from again. He graduated Hutchinson High School in 1990 and enrolled in the University of Kansas, KU, but became involved with drugs and alcohol while in college and dropped out after only a couple of months. He took a job in a restaurant and enrolled in Hutch Community College, then went to live with an uncle in Virginia, then returned to Kansas and re-enrolled at KU. On the day of his disappearance, John's mother told him he could not stay in her home as long as he continued to use drugs and alcohol. They made plans to meet that night for dinner, then parted ways. They never saw each other again. John's red 1986 Kawasaki motorcycle with Kansas license plate number CCK09 disappeared with him. There was a report at the U.S. Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms agent stopped him on his motorcycle at the Mexican border, but this has not been confirmed. John's mother had him declared legally dead in 1999. If anybody has any information regarding John's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2830 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help, figure out what happened to him and get him found. That's a very interesting case.
So what's the deal? Like, what was wrong?
I don't know. I mean, other accounts that I had read said that he may have been suicidal at the time as well. So I don't honestly know.
Sounds like he was having some issues with drugs and, who knows what actually went on between him and his mom, but seems like that was his problem there. He was trying to get clean and having some other issues going on.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad to me.
And maybe your next page you can do one for him.
Well, I actually just wrote his name down on my list, Ricky. So because you know how I am.
Right.
I did because that one. Well, I tend to focus on the older ones that nobody's brought up in a while, and there hasn't been any articles ran, and because I've seen cases where it's been 50 years and they've gotten solved. So you never know.
Yeah, and Sandra, we did mention Alex at the top of tonight's show as well, and had his flyer up there. Matter of fact, there you go. There he is, right there.
5 long months.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. We'll keep showing his flyer every week until he's found. And then Nisi has a question for us here too. Did you guys already cover this case? Adrian D. Harrison, report number 02-122610 on December 30th, 2002 at 8 o'clock. The body of 23-year-old Adrian Harrison was discovered in a small abandoned building in the parking lot at 11th and Elmwood. Harrison's death was later ruled a homicide. Harris was a longtime resident of KCK and was last seen in Kansas several days before his body was discovered. It's believed that Harrison was killed at another location. And then I can't see the rest of the comment because I cut it off.
Yeah, you have to look at it after the show.
Yeah, I'll look at it after the show.
We'll
I don't
definitely
think we have
that for next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that here. Adrian Harrison. I think we're all making a note here.
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely will do that for sure.
Yeah, I think it's sad the mom declared him dead after 7 years too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely get something going for him. I'll have to see if I can track down some photos of him and stuff like that. But I definitely will.
I just don't understand how somebody they never found the bike either. I'm still bothered by this.
Oh, on John's, yeah, they haven't located his motorcycle either. So I mean, the part that got me was the part at the bottom where it was talking about that there was a report that the ATF stopped him on his motorcycle at the Mexican border, but it's not been confirmed. So I mean, did he go in? If that's accurate, did he go into Mexico or?
And I wonder where that came from. If it was just a rumor somebody started spreading, or
I don't know. It doesn't say where the report came from, but it'd be interesting to find out.
I mean, how do you usually if somebody goes through the border with the ATF, like usually there's like some type of paperwork, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it's either he went through the border or he didn't.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice to find out for sure, but I mean, if anybody has information on his case, don't hesitate to call it in. Do not hesitate, no matter how small of a piece of information you think it might be.
Mary says it's sad, but there may be a reason why she had him declared legally dead. There could have been issues with student loans, etc. That's true.
Yeah.
Stuff you never think about. I mean,
yeah,
just a young kid, man.
Yeah. And Nisi said there's pics there. Do you have a link for that, Nisi, so I can find it, please?
While we're digging that up, let's talk about Kelowna Hendricks.
Okie dokie. Let's see. There you are up there. Okay. Kelowna Hendricks is missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 13th of 2021. She's 14 years old. She's 5 foot 4 inches tall, weighs 135 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Kelowna's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Kelowna, if you see this or somebody let you know about it, it's time to get back home and get things taken care of. So give somebody a call, let them know where you're at. And apparently she's really being looked for because I had 2 different people emailing me about making a flyer for her. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, she's pretty young. 14 is just, I mean, that's young.
Yeah, it is.
My niece is 14 that lives here with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with her like cooking and stuff, and I even let her like watch my kids while I leave, but never would I be like, well, you want to get your own apartment? Like, you want to move out? Like, that 14 is young.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And Nisi put the link in there for us, so that's good. I'm writing it down. Adding it to my notes. kcpd.org/crime/cold case unsolved homicides.
It's gotten to the point now where people send me cases.
Oh, yeah?
And I just forward them over to Ricky. This is one that was sent to me, but it's Penny Yvonne Peeler.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and talk about this Enid, Oklahoma case. Let's go ahead. It's
Yeah.
another old case.
Yeah, I've been missing from Enid, Oklahoma since April 25th of 1990, so just over 31 years ago. Yeah, 31 years ago. She was 37 when she went missing. She would now be 68. She was last heard from on April 25th, 1990, when she spoke on the phone to her mother, who lived in Arkansas. During the conversation, she was upset and said she and her husband of 16 years were having marital problems. Between April 27th and May 11th, 1990, Penny's husband was on a trip with another woman. He stated he last saw Penny on May 3rd either at a bus station in Sacramento, California, or at a truck stop in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's never been heard. Yeah, she's never been heard from again. Peeler's mother believes her daughter may have been murdered. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 37 years old. She would now be 68. She's 5'6" to 5'7" tall and weighs 150 pounds. She has blonde or strawberry hair and blue hazel eyes. She possibly has a scar on her forehead. She was last known to be wearing a red flower blouse, cut-off jean shorts, and brown sandals. If you have any information regarding Penny's disappearance or you know her for whereabouts, please call the Garfield County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office at 580-237-0244 or the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation at 405-372-1516 and see if we can't help get her located and back home. So if anybody has information on Penny's case, no matter how small, I say this a lot, but no matter how small you think that information might be, get it called in and help get this case solved.
Husband seems sketchy.
I just thought it was interesting that he said, well, I either saw her in California or in Mexico,
I never understand that, like how, and like we're just supposed to believe it, and somehow we kind of do, because it ends up like the whole like Casey Anthony thing. She's like, I think I saw my kid on Tuesday. I don't. It's like no. We're talking about a human being. When was the last time? It's not a. When did you last eat taco? But when is the last time you were with your kid? It's your kid you're with every day. It's like it's like this is your wife. It was either in California, either in New Mexico. Not really sure. It's like no, dude. We're talking about your wife. You don't remember when the last time you saw her was. Like that's sketchy.
Yeah. Weird.
And we got a gentleman here, Scott Messerschmidt, is there working again on the Welch girls case. Are you referring to Stephanie Welch? Has been missing since 99 here. No. Stephanie Welch. Let's see which one, see if that's the right one or not, because if that's Stephanie Welch, I see she's been missing since February 28th of 2001. So let me know if that's Stephanie or not. Because I do have a flyer up for Stephanie. I think I need to update it. It's probably been a while.
Tell us about Ricardo.
That was one I did today. Ricardo Salome, missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 20th of 2021. He's 11 years old, 5 foot tall, 100 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. It's believed that he is with his non-custodial mother, Sonia Salome, who is 45 years old. I wasn't able to get any other information on her other than she does use a wheelchair. Again, Ricardo's 11. He's 5 foot tall, weighs 100 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Ricardo's disappearance or you know of his and or Sonia's whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can help get him found as well. Now, 11 years old.
And she's not the guardian. She just took off with him, basically.
Yeah, she's not considered custodial. Doesn't have custody of him. So,
is it his actual mom though?
Yeah, it's his actual mom.
But still, for some reason, she's not supposed to have.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind that.
But still, there's a story behind. It's like that.
Yeah,
rules are rules, Sonia.
Oh no, the girls in Oklahoma. If you guys type Welch girls, you'll see new updated posts. Oh, okay, I will check that out. I will definitely do that.
Everybody be on the lookout for these two. Probably a lot of people worried.
In 1990, December 30th, 1999. So I get that all written down. Okay. That's the fun part about doing live shows like this. To spur of the moment, things come up, and got to jot down things so I don't forget them. All right.
Sam Bustos.
Yeah. He's missing from Shawnee, Kansas since April 24th, 2021. He's 15 years old, 5'6" tall. He weighs 228 pounds. He has red hair and hazel eyes. It's believed that he may still be in the local Shawnee area, or he may be in the Topeka, Kansas area. He has a tattoo of 3 dots on the outside of his right eye. If you have any information regarding Samuel's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Shawnee, Kansas Police Department at 913-631-2150 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't help get Samuel back where he needs to be. And Sam, if you're if you see this or hear this or told about it, it's time to get back to where you need to be and get business taken care of, buddy. I do like his last name. That's pretty cool.
Bustos, yeah.
Bustos. That's pretty cool.
However you say that.
I'm not sure. And Nisi, she says, we appreciate you. Well, thank you, Nisi. Appreciate that. All right.
Got a couple more here for you all. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Yeah, a couple more.
Tell me about Tommy.
All right. Says I locate Tommy Leon Mays, missing from Wichita, Kansas, since April 7th, 2021. He's 16 years old, 5'3", weighs 115 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Tommy's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Tommy, if you see this, let somebody know where you're at so you can get back to where you need to be. You've been missing for almost 3 weeks. Just time to let somebody know where you're at.
Yeah. It's always Wichita, man.
Yeah. And like I said, I've been talking to people about it, and apparently the largest number of group homes for foster kids is in Wichita. And Topeka has quite a few as well. Yes, Nisi, we are on YouTube. I posted the link to the YouTube channel, but if you go to YouTube and put in Ricky Chabruggi / Kansas Missing and Unsolved, you'll be able to pull up the YouTube channel that way. So initially it was just my name, and then I hyphenated it with Kansas Missing and Unsolved so I could make it Kansas Missing and Unsolved YouTube. So yeah. We're on live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Oh, it's okay, Nisi, no problem. Pretty soon, I guess Twitter's doing away with their Periscope, so I don't know how we're going to...
They've been threatening that for like 5 months. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's hope not, because I like being able to go live over there, too. What I've been wondering, is there a way to go live on Instagram?
I have not figured that one out yet.
Yeah, me either. Because we do have an Instagram, but I'm trying to figure out what the login and password is, because one of my former admins set the Instagram up to where it auto posts, or I thought I was auto posting, but it's not, and she doesn't remember the login and password to it. So hopefully I can get that figured out, because I would like to be able to keep it simul posting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Got one more case for y'all.
Yeah, from here in
Ricky's
my
gonna tell us about
hometown.
Emily.
Yeah, from my hometown here. I gotta look. Oh, there it is down there. Okay. Emily Demoplace, missing from Salina, Kansas since April 2nd, 2021. She's 17 years old. She's between 5'2" and 5'4", weighs 120 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Emily's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her found and back home where she needs to be. And Emily, if you see this or hear this, give somebody a call, let them know where you are, get you back home where you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well, we finished the show in an hour. That's a first for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kelsey, you want to give us a rundown of all your pages again, so people can check those pages out and keep sharing?
Okay, I should have took a note before I came on because I tend to forget them. So the main one I think is Kansas Cold Cases, and then I have Find Catherine Adam. Or wait, isn't it Catherine Adam Missing? I think now. I keep changing names on them. And then Tabitha Brewer, Justice for Brian Trester, Alex Perez Missing. I think that's all of them.
Cool. So you guys go over and check out her pages and share her pages as well, and help keep them going out there too.
And then I'm also on YouTube as Kansas Cold Cases.
Yeah.
Been making a few videos here and there and posting them to that. And there's also a Facebook group for that. And after I did the last show with you guys, I got quite a few requests for new members. So that was cool. And I haven't been active. Hopefully I'll, get back into a good habit and routine of being active in there again. But I've been so busy with moving and everything that I haven't really kept up on any of the pages. So there.
Yeah, I hear you on the busy part because, I don't know how many people really notice this as far as Kansas Missing goes, but you'll see a lot of flyers getting posted in the mornings and in the evenings because I have to work it around my work schedule. So
right.
The only time it seems to be throughout the day is like today on my day off where I'm able to, sit here and get them as they come in. I don't like to have to, tell a person when they email me or message me about getting a flyer made that, I can make it, but it's going to be a little bit because I'm still at work until whatever time I get off that particular day, and I can get it made as soon as I get home. And, they're understanding of it and appreciative of it. And I just feel bad for having to have them late because I don't like that.
Right.
Ricky, what about this comment?
What's that? Oh, about Frederick Iwert. Yeah, I live right here. By here, the people that remember it say the rumor was that his body was either in a well, and the other crazy rumor was that the chiropractor, I can't think what the guy's name is, and I read this somewhere too, that there was talk that he possibly dismembered the body and put it inside a cow.
Wow.
I remember reading that somewhere. Nisi says she's trying to locate your YouTube channel.
Mine? Oh, yeah. It's Kansas Cold Cases.
Okay.
Me and Kelsey are tired, Ricky.
Yeah, I know. I'm so just burned out. I feel like I've just been sitting here this whole night, not very interactive.
I'm leaning back. We got started late today. It's been a rough day.
Yeah. Roxanne saying, I hope any of these people on flyers call someone that think they have problems at home or wherever they live. There is help out there. I agree with you there.
Right. We talked about that a little bit last week too, and how I thought that a lot of people don't take repeat offenders, I guess, seriously. But it's to me it's really sad because it's like they're not getting the help that they need.
Yeah.
There's obviously a problem there if they keep running or whatever's going on, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we need to keep popping up that 1-800-RUNAWAY number too. So, and if anything, they can reach out to them and they can help them out too.
Right.
Yeah, we used to pop that up there. We need to get that back up there.
I'll load it up for next week. Actually,
Yeah.
Ricky, your homework for this week is to load me up with numbers you want me to put across the screen.
Okay.
Numbers and messages and then, things like that.
If I have time.
Right.
I was telling Derek before the show that prior to yesterday, I was thinking we weren't going to have a whole lot of cases to cover, so I was going to have to start going through the old stuff. And then yesterday, I had a very busy day making flyers. I think I got off work at about a little after 5, a couple minutes after 5 yesterday. I was home by like 5:45, and I started working on flyers probably about 6ish, and I didn't stop working on flyers till almost midnight, and I had done 9 by then.
Wow.
And I did 2 or 3 more this morning. So, and I've got 2 in my email waiting for my attention after the show tonight. So, I will get to those as soon as we get done with the show. And oh my goodness, I tell you,
It'll be about a week and 2 days, right, before we see each other again.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because it was a full moon last night or what, but they were calling it the
really good pictures of it though with my new phone. I got a 48 megapixel camera. They came out really cool.
Awesome. They're calling it the pink moon.
Well, it doesn't look pink, but just how the trees and the shadows look.
Right.
Came out really nice.
Well, when I looked at it last night, it looked like nice bright white to me. So I mean,
yeah, but it just looked really cool, and when I walked outside my apartment, it was right there, and I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one. You see about the runaway term should not be used on a flyer. I agree with that because to me, it puts a label on that child, and I don't think that label should be put. And I've talked about this in the past too, as far as, even if they do run away, did they do it of their own accord, or were they talking to somebody online that coerced or talked them into running? I mean, either or, I think they should be looked at as missing first and foremost.
Right.
Now, as far as when I do Wichita flyers, I used to just say missing. And it was at the request of the Wichita Police Department that I added the term runaway, and I reluctantly agreed because I wanted to stay in good terms with them and continue to do flyers for them. So I added the missing endangered runaway. I kind of compromised and said missing endangered runaway. So, yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point too. Did they feel like they had to run away to survive? I'm sure some of them probably did. I'm not sure what the percentages would be, but I'm sure there's probably a certain amount of them that felt like they did. And I also brought up the point that, some of these kids come from backgrounds to where maybe they don't have the structures or the rules or anything like that foster care that they face in foster care, because foster care is structured, and there are rules and there are guidelines and curfews and this and that and stuff. And I was a foster parent for a while. So, yeah. And these kids don't like to have to follow rules and stuff. And so they feel like it's better just to get out of there and go back to what they're used to. So.
Tough situation for everybody involved.
Yeah. Definitely is. I look at my 2 kids, my girls, and both of my girls were foster kids, and we adopted them from foster care. So, and they're both teenagers now. They were very, very young when we adopted them. One was 3, and one was like 1.5 or something like that when we finally got them adopted. It took us a while to get them adopted because they kept giving the birth parents opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get them placed back with them, but it just didn't work out that way. But, and sorry, I'm getting a little emotional talking about it. I hate it when I do that, but that's just me.
Happens, man.
Yeah, but anyway.
Well, I think it's awesome that you were able to do that and, give them a better home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They're both good kids. They have their obstacles that they deal with, and my older daughter, she has issues with authority and rules herself. So it's, I mean, she has a lot of other issues besides that. I mean, I think I told you a little bit about it, but I'm not going to get into it here. But I mean, she's got a lot on her plate that she deals with. And so we're trying to help her out best we can. Got her all kinds of services in place, and therapists and case managers involved to help her out. And, she's doing the best she can. She's a good kid. She just has a lot on her. But anyway, I want to thank everybody tonight for joining us and being here with us for another show tonight, and then kind of another long one, 17 cases. Didn't think we were going to have that many tonight. But see what happens next week, which will be, and let me get the date right this time. It's going to be next Thursday, which will be a week from the 29th, which will be May. If I can, I don't want to even see June. I don't even think about June. It'll be May 6th, Thursday, May 6th at 9 o'clock. So we'll see you guys then. But until then, everybody, stay safe. God bless. Thank you for being with us, and have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Well, I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought, and a person, the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arm, to display full assault, to disgrace in this arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the crown fits, wear it, the crown fits. If the crown fits,